Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my new 5x5 training split. So I've called it 5x5 because I'm going to be doing 5 days a week and I'm going to be doing 5 exercises per session. So a total of 25 exercises per week. And also, by amazing coincidence, I started doing this today on the 5th of the 5th 25. Okay, so I'm just going to run through quickly what each day is going to be. So day 1 is going to be heavy upper body stuff. Day 2, heavy lower body. Day 3, strongman events. Day 4, light upper body, and day 5, light lower body. So 2 heavy, 2 upper, and then events in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through each day and show you what I've got here and how I'm going to work this. Okay, so it's 5 days, but I kind of like rotate it a little bit really. So for example, day 1 is the heavy overhead, day 2 the deadlift, the heavy lower body. So so what we'll do is start at the beginning. So day 1, first of all I do an overhead press. Overhead is very important in strongman, so I always try and train overhead. At the moment I'm doing log, so that's the first thing that I do. I do my movement preps before that as well though. So start off with log, that's the first exercise I do. I like to have, at the moment I want pressing on day 1 because pressing is where I'm weak. My pressing is weak in relation to my deadlift. Some people with their split sometimes they'll put deadlift on the first day or they'll put squat on the first day. I like to put overhead and shoulders and pressing on the first day because I'm weak, that's where I'm not so good. So log press first, then I'll do shoulders. At the moment I'm doing strict log for shoulders, but in the next block I might change that to seated axle press, or just seated barbell press, or seated Smith machine press. Some compound lift that works the shoulders, I might go on to seated Smith machine shoulder press because that's a favourite of Sadruna Safikas, he likes to do that. But at the moment I'm just doing strict log for shoulders, which is good as well because I can do log and then strict log, and then it's very quick to set that up, and I basically kill 2 birds with 1 stone rather than just doing push press and then I have to go on to another machine or get another bar out in order to do pressing. But I like to mix it up a bit, so for now we'll keep it at strict log press for shoulders, but I will probably change the exercise on the next training block and make it something different. And then afterwards triceps. At the moment I'm doing close grip incline axle press. At the moment I'm doing an off-season training block, so I'm doing higher reps at the moment and I'm trying to use things like axles, and I'm not using any equipment like wrist wraps or elbow sleeves because I'm trying to make the exercise harder and try and increase that time under tension really. Try and make the exercise harder, try and make the conditions harder during the off season so that when I start to peak my lifts with normal barbells it should be a lot easier. That's the theory anyway. And then afterwards do some shoulder stability. Now this day 1 I actually did this today on May the 5th. So today I did face pulls for shoulder stability and then finished up with conditioning, which was 10 minutes on the Stairmaster. So that's day 1. Day 2, start off with leg curls just to pre-fatigue the hamstrings. 2 sets of 15 to 25 just gets the job done really. Lightweight, but I try and keep the time under tension and just try to stimulate really. I don't want to wear myself out too much, but that's just the first exercise to do. And then I move into a deadlift variation. If I was peaking I'd probably do a regular deadlift, but because I'm doing an off season at the moment I'm going to be doing axle deficit deadlift. So I'm going to be using an axle bar to make it harder, and then to make it even harder than that I'm going to do it on a 2-inch deficit. 5 sets of 3 for that, so that's the deadlift. Then I'll do a deadlift assistance, which could be bent over rows, Penley rows, or good mornings. Loads of different stuff you can do. In this case at the moment I'm going to do axle neural rows. So again, I'm using the axle for deadlift and I can use it for the next exercise, and also again I'm using the same bar. So that hopefully will cut down my workout times, because I'm going straight from the deadlift straight into my rows, and I'm using the same axle bar. And then afterwards, pull-ups. I'm ashamed to have to say it, but I'm not too good at pull-ups. But luckily at the gym I go to, they've got an assisted pull-up machine, so I'm going to try and get good at that, and then hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to do bodyweight pull-ups. Difficult when you weigh 145 kilos or 320 pounds, but I will try to work up to that. And then just finish up with quads. On this occasion, on this block, I'm going to do single leg press, but you can do Carson squats, which is what I'm probably going to do next time. It's basically a reverse hack squat, basically, or you can do hack squats. They've got a good hack squat machine there, so I can do that as well. And they've got like pendulum squats. There's loads of different things that you can do for quads as well, and I will probably change the exercise every single block. Day 3. So because I did a heavy deadlift the day before, I'm now going to do a light squat. So probably just a front squat or a safety bar squat, and just work up to a fast, easy single up to about 60% or something. Afterwards, do glutes. I'm probably going to do hip thrusts, but you can do glute hand raise as well. Different exercise you can do for that. And then afterwards, I'll either do farmer's walk or frame, and you can either do carries or holds. Then I'll do stones or sandbags. I'll either do Atlas stones, or I'll do either a sandbag to shoulder or a sandbag over yoke. And then just finish up with conditioning, which might be a sled push, or I might just carry the sandbag and do what's called a heart shock exercise, which is basically where you jog for 20 metres, sprint 20 metres, carry an implement, usually a sandbag, and carry that 20 metres. That's one rep, and then just do multiple reps of that. It really does get the heart going, and you don't even need a heavy implement. Even a 50, 60, 80 kilo sandbag will really test you. So that's really good for the lungs as well. So I'll be putting conditioning at least twice a week. But on this particular day, since I'm already doing strongman here, my conditioning on this day will probably be more geared towards strongman conditioning, rather than using a Stairmaster or a rowing machine, which I normally do. So different types of conditioning as well I'm going to start doing. Day 4, speed bench with bands as well. You always want to use bands for accommodating resistance when you're doing speed work. And then just shoulders. Because this is a lighter day, I'll probably be doing lighter weight, higher reps. Shoulders could be a Smith machine shoulder press, could be dumbbell shoulders, doesn't matter. Triceps isolation, so probably pull downs or skull crushers or extensions behind the neck, behind the head, like I was doing before the Swiss bar. I'll probably do that. So then some forearms, probably dumbbell hammer curls, and then again shoulder stab. Like to try and get that in twice a week as well, very important. I'll probably do a different shoulder stability exercise on day 4 than what I would do on the first day. Day 5, I actually got this from Andy Bolton actually, because he's heavy squat and deadlift on one day, then on the second day he does assistance, and the first day he does bench press, second day deadlift and squat in one day, then the third day he does assistance, and then on the fourth day he'll do an easy light session, and it looks exactly like this, where he'll do leg curls, 2 sets of 10, leg press 2 sets of 20, kettlebell swings, plank, and then fat bar holds. And this is a really easy session to do really. It's just 5 exercises, doesn't really take a lot out of you, and he says that he actually feels better actually and performs better when he goes back to doing his deadlift day, rather than if he'd just done nothing. So these 2 easy days should be able to get through them quite quickly. And also as well, with these lighter days and all, I'll probably take 1 minute rest in between, whereas on the heavier days it's probably going to be closer to 3 to 4 minutes rest in between sets. But I'll probably do 1 minute rest in between sets on these lighter days. So that's the 5 days. Then I do the 5 again, but slightly different. So I go back to day 1, but instead of doing a log, I'll do axle instead. So I rotate. These 3 days I rotate differently every single week. So for example, day 1 on 1 week will be log, but then when I go back to day one on the following week, it'll be axle instead. So I'll do a jump, for example, a ball jump, then I'll do an overhead lift, but instead of doing a log, I'll use the axle. Then I'll do a triceps exercise, but it'll be like a compound exercise. Because I did an isolation triceps exercise on day 4, this will be a triceps compound exercise. So probably close grip bench press, something like that. And then shoulders afterwards. Yeah, just finish up with conditioning there. Probably the Concept 2 weighing machine. That's really good for conditioning, especially if you're a big guy. Because it does like help spare the joints really. I do like the Concept 2 weighing machine. It's really good for conditioning for strongman. And then day 2. So last week, because I did a heavy deadlift on day 2, the following week on week 2, I'll be doing a heavy squat instead. Then pull downs, then rows, then biceps, and then grip. Notice on day 2 I didn't do grip here. Reason being is because on day 3 I'm going to be doing farmers and frames. I don't want to do grip on day 2 and then rescue interfering with this. So by doing this I get grip stuff in here and then I get grip stuff in here on day 2. So I've got, and if you notice I'll do the fat bar holds on day 5, so I've got grip twice a week, conditioning twice a week. Same here as well. So yeah, day 2 finish up with grip. Day 3, so on my events day, because I did a light squat the week before, I now do a lighter deadlift variation on day 3. So if you look at this, I'm deadlifting every week because I'm doing a heavy deadlift and then a lighter deadlift variation. And then on day 3 I'm doing a lighter squat there, and then on day 2 I'm doing a heavier squat. So it's basically alternating really. So I'm squatting and deadlifting every week, but I'm alternating between light and heavy. So this week will be heavy deadlift but light squat, and then the following week I'll switch it and rotate it and do heavy squat and a lighter deadlift variation. At the moment I'll be doing probably stiff leg deadlift for that. And then afterwards traps, at the moment probably barbell shrugs, they're really good for deadlift assistance. Then I'll be doing yoke. Then a medley, so probably a 3 or 4 item medley carrying sandbags or kegs. And then just any additional events that I might need to do. I haven't got any competitions lined up at the moment, but if there is something that I need to do for events that's not covered here, then I can just add it in here. And then day 4 and day 5, the light day 4 and light day 5 are basically the same as this. So week 2, day 4 is speed bench, shoulders, triceps, side, so forearms and shoulders. So it's the same as week 1 basically, and the same as day 5. Day 5 on week 2 is the same as this. So the only thing that changes is the first 3 days. As you can see here, I alternate between heavy deadlift, light squat, and then heavy squat and light deadlift. And the events change as well. So farmers walk week 1, and then week 2 I switch to a yoke. So I rotate between farmers and yoke every week, and then I will alternate and rotate from stones to a medley as well. So that way it covers pretty much a lot of things that you'll get in strongman. I find from all the strongman competitions I've done, there's always going to be an overhead, there's always going to be a deadlift. If you keep farmers in year rounds, that's really good as well. Yoke is a little bit more taxing, but I like yoke as well, and you'll always get that, and usually you will get some form of a medley, maybe sandbags, kegs or whatever. So yoke, farmers, deadlift and overhead is normally going to be your bread and butter really, and a bit of medley there for conditioning as well. So I do conditioning day 1, and then the medley will be my conditioning for day 3. So by doing this I'm getting conditioning in twice a week, as you can see, and I'm getting grip stuff in twice a week as well. So this pretty much covers a lot really, and I've tried to create the split in such a way as well so that it includes everything but also takes into account what I can do and recovery as well really. I'm 44 years old this year, and I find I need to really be really shit hot on recovery, because I can do a few weeks and then I find that I start to get a bit overtrained. So that's why I've started doing these 2 lighter days here. So I could do these 3 hard and heavy days, and then I've got these 2 lighter days here to recover, because I found when I was doing 4 days I would do overhead, deadlift, more pressing, and then the 4th day would be a squat variation and an events. But then I found when I went back to day 1 for my overhead log, sometimes that would suffer because I hadn't recovered from the 4th day, which was squat and events. So by doing it this way, I could do the heavy stuff here and then have these 2 days to recover. So by the time I get back to log, hopefully I should be recovered and ready to do that. So this basically, as you can see, a maximum of 5 exercises per session, 5 days a week, hence why I call it 5 by 5. So, so I'm really excited to try this and see where I go with it. I have to really be careful with my recovery, not just because I'm in my 40s, but because strongman really does take a lot out of you. And sometimes, especially something like yoke and farmer's walk, that can be really tough to recover from as well. When you add in as well that you're going to be doing deadlifts and squats, it is a big ask, especially for me. But like I've created this and hopefully in such a way that I can recover. But I've also, what I'm going to do with this as well is I'm going to do it where I have 3 heavy weeks and then the 4th week is a deload. So I will deload on basically load and volume and frequency, everything. So I'm going to show you that in a minute and show you like how I'm going to structure it week by week as well. Well, okay, so now I'm going to show you how I will structure that over the weeks in the blocks that I do. So basically it will just be week 1 normal training, 5 sessions a week, week 2, week 3, and then on 4th week I deload, but I will only do 2 sessions in 1 week. So it pulls back on the frequency, the load will be pulled back as well, and the volume as well basically. So I'm cutting back on all 3 for recovery purposes, and then on the 5th week I just go back to my normal 5 sessions a week. Now I do shift work as well, but I've created like a 2-day wall. So basically I will not do any more than 2 sessions back-to-back days. So for example, I might do a session on Monday, a session on Tuesday, but if I train 2 days back to back, I will not train on the 3rd day. But also equally as well, I don't want more than 2 days rest either, unless of course it's a deload week. So here's like a little example of how this might work. So for example, because of my schedule and all that, sometimes it might be difficult to actually get 5 sessions in a week, although if I can do that I will try to do that. But sometimes it can be difficult, especially if I'm busy. But basically it might look something like this. So here's 2 weeks in real time. So I might do a session on Monday, day 2 might be done on Tuesday, then I would rest on Wednesday, then I might do another session, the 1st session might be on the Thursday, but then I might be working on the Friday, so I might not be able to do that, but then I might be able to do 2 sessions over the weekend. So day 4 will be on Saturday, day 5 will be on Sunday. Because I've done 2 days in a row, I'll have the 3rd day off, so Monday will be a rest day. And then day 1 will be Tuesday, maybe I'm working on the Wednesday, so I might have to, or maybe I'm busy on the Wednesday or whatever, so I might rest there. Then I'll do 2 sessions on the Thursday and the Friday. Then I'll rest on the Saturday, and then the 4th session will be the Sunday. Yes, just an example of how my sessions might fall on any given week. So as you can see, over the course of 2 weeks, I've got 9 sessions in, which is average of 4.5 sessions a week, which isn't too bad. I want to try and do more frequency if I can, but try and do less work in the sessions themselves. That's why I've cut the exercises down to 5 per session. I want to see whether it'll be better for me to do more frequency and less work in each session, rather than go there and try and do 7, 8, 9 exercises in one session and then I end up being there for over 3 hours. So I'm trying to do shorter sessions but do more sessions per week. I think that'll work better, especially for me. And I'll be able to get through it quicker. Now let's say it's a deload week, then I'll just do 2 sessions in 1 week. So for example, let's say I do my 5th and final session on the Monday, then I'll have 2 days rest. I'll get a light day in on one day, Thursday, 2 days rest again, and then on the Sunday I'll do another light session. So in this week I've done 2 light sessions and that's it. And then by the time I go back again to my normal 5 sessions, I should be rested, recovered and ready to go. Okay, so I hope this new training split makes sense. If I have missed anything, or you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to be running this for a little while. Yeah, seeing how I get on with it. I really like it because it does give me a bit of everything. The workouts won't be too long. Basically, hopefully I'll enjoy it more. And knowing that there's less exercises, but I can really focus on the exercises that I do. And I've tried to create it as well so that it's recovery friendly, because I do need it. I'm the type of person, sometimes I don't always recover too well, so I'm really big on recoveries, and I hope that this new training split will address that. So yeah, I'll be interested to see. I'll see how I get on with it, and whether it improves my strength anyway, and improves what I'm doing. So this is just like a little experiment for me, and I'm just gonna just see how I go with it. So yeah, I will be uploading the training videos. I've already got week 1, day 1. I've already uploaded that today, so that's available on my channel to watch as well. And then I think next session will be the deadlift session. So again, just starting off nice, light and easy. It's my first. Today was my first day back after 2 weeks of not training at all, and I have to say I'm feeling much better now. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into this and seeing where it takes me.